Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Athens, Greece. And as you can see behind me, that is the city. And we're gonna finally get a chance to look at something I've been trying to do for my whole life. I went to the Colosseum in Rome, which was my ¡1 thing to see in like 1994. And now it's 2024 and I get to go see #2 on my bucket list. We're gonna go and we're gonna look at the Acropolis. This is something I've been looking forward to for so long. So anyway, let's walk around here. We'll go see the ticket window, then we'll go up and look at the rest of the ruins up on the hill. This is the view you have here. We're on a little, like 144 meter tall hill right here. This is the Acropolis or something like that. It's named after, I think, the Greek god Eros. And so anyway, this is where people come over and take a picture and they can look at the sprawling metropolis of Athens. And then just to give you an idea where this is at, this is right here next to the Acropolis. You can see it up on the hill. Very, very cool. And you can see the remains of a little bit of the ruins down here around the base of the Acropolis. And you can see over there, there's the Roman settlements. They have like a library and some other stuff, and then over there is the old marketplace. But check that out, that is so cool. And that's the thing we came over here to see. That is the Acropolis. Now, this has been inhabited in this area since the Neolithic times. And I think in 510 BC, the oracle here declared that this should be like a realm just for the gods. And so they made it just into a temple. And everybody comes over here and takes some pictures and does all that. You can see there's quite a few people here, so we'll have to fight the crowds a little bit, but hey, it's worth it. This is a cool place. Now, kind of what's important about this little hill that's right here is this is where the Apostle Paul came over and he preached to the Greeks right here. Came over in 51 AD. And I think it was his second trip to Greece, but he came here and then he went to a couple other places and converted some of the people that were here to Christianity. And it was a pretty important event and kind of led the way for Christianity here in Greece. All right, so here is the line for the tickets. Now, last month or so, the Greek government started limiting the amount of people that can see this at a certain time. I think only 20,000 a day can go up to the Acropolis. So let's see about how much they are and everything. Okay, so they sell them right here, and you could do cash or credit. And you get two different ones you can buy. You can buy just the Acropolis, which is €20, or you can buy this package of 7 museums that includes the Acropolis. And then it's all of these right here. So that's the one I did, is it's 30 euros. Now it's already booked up until 12 o'clock. We got it for 10:45. And this is where we'll go in. And this is the exit right here. And you can see the Acropolis up there on the hill. So let's wait a little bit and then we'll go in and look around. And you can see the line here. These are people coming out and these are the people waiting to go in. It's almost our time. All right, so we're through the checkpoint to get in here. You can see the Acropolis up there. And then over here, I think this is the South Slope and the Theater of Dionysus. So check this out. This is fantastic. This is the Theater of Dionysus. You can see where they've put in new seats and stuff like that right here. But how amazing would that have been to come here and see a show or whatever right here in this when it was all brand new. All those arches would have been completed across the top. Just beautiful. Yeah, so we're setting up for a modern show. That'll be fantastic with those lights shining in those little arches. And you can see the city of Athens all around the hill here. Yeah, so the real name of this is the Odeon of Herodes Atticus. And it was built around 160 AD to 169. And the diameter of it was 76 meters, which is massive. And it could hold up to 6,000 people in these seats. All right, so let's keep on going up this hill. There's so many people here. But there's a reason why it's so crowded. Okay, so here we are where there's going to be just a massive crowd. We got these marble columns here. This is where everybody wants to come. So I think these are the Doric style. You can see the tops of the column are pretty plain. They went to the Ionic style later on. It had kind of a little bit more styling, and then eventually the Corinthian arches, or Corinthian style later on that the Romans loved. This is just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this is why we came to Greece, is to see this right here. So you can see the old steps that aren't in existence anymore. So that is the Ionic style right there on the tops of those columns. And you can see the carvings in that marble across the top. And quite a bit of this here has been restored. You can see where the new seams and everything is inside of them. But this building here has seen some really interesting times. There was actually people living in here. The Ottoman Empire stored, probably the biggest event to damage this is they stored ammunition in here, and it caught on fire during some of the fighting, and it burned all these buildings up here. And you can see the old marble here, and then these massive columns. Wow, this is really cool. So all this is going back to 510 AD right here, when Pericles, I think that was his name, whenever he kind of made Athens into the modern city, and they started putting all this marble in to all the buildings. You can see some of the original pieces here, and that's just so weathered. 2+ millennia will do that to these marble columns. So this is just absolutely amazing. So if you can imagine back in antiquity, they would climb up this hill up here, and this was this massive temple complex. And we would have had the huge statue of Athena in here that would have been gilded in gold. This would have just been absolutely amazing. You can see some of the scaffolding. Scaffolding is the bane of my existence, but they have to do that to restore it. And then it's kind of interesting over here. This is some of the ongoing restoration efforts. So I'm not sure what she's doing with that on that little piece of marble, but they're doing something there. They got it figured out. Then over here you see there's quite a bit more of the restoration going on. All the old marble pieces and then the new ones. And then you see the modern city of Athens. Now I was watching some videos of this, and I saw some pictures from the 1800s, and Athens was just an absolute tiny place compared to what it is now. But you know, in the 1920s, there was like the forestry settlement of Greeks from Turkey, and they settled here. Plus a lot of people have came from the islands over here to work and everything in Athens. So what we have here is this is what they call the ruins of the old temple. And this dates back to like 800 BC. And they found some like columns and some bronze discs with like a lion devouring a bull. And it predates the other ones up here on the hilltop. So here we are. This is just an absolutely fantastic building. So this is an Ionic style temple. You see at the top of the columns, they have those two little swirls. That was the iconic order of architecture. And what's famous about this temple, this is the Erechtheion. I know, I'll put it up on the screen. But it has the 6 maidens right here. And those are almost 2 meters tall. They're 1.77 meters. And they're intricately carved into all of that marble. Now I believe this building here goes back to 431 BC. And construction was interrupted during the Peloponnesian War in 431. This is a nice look inside here. So there's those Ionic column tops. So I guess the wall on the north side is 3 meters taller than the wall on the south side because it's built up against this hill. And you can see quite a bit of the restoration efforts that have been made. This is just absolutely beautiful. Over here on this side of the hill, they have all the old, kind of the boneyard of the old columns and old pediments, everything else here. And hopefully they'll be able to restore some of these and put them back up. What we have right here, this is the Temple of Rome and Augustus. It's the only temple up here on the top of the Acropolis from the Roman era. And I think it was probably built around 27 BC or so. Now, they haven't ever found any statues inside of here of Augustus or of Rome, but that's what they think was in here. And it was the Ionic order. You can see the double swirl on the columns. And I think this would have been like 9 meters across, something like that. You can see it's right here next to the Parthenon. This was the most important building built up here on the Acropolis by Pericles whenever he was renovating all of this stuff. This was a reconstruct of an earlier building that was destroyed by the Persians in 480. And this has got a long history. There's been a lot of stuff. It was a church at one time. They stored ammunition here and a fire blew the roof off of it. And it's in the shape that it's in right now today because of all the centuries of weather and wear and tear. Yeah, I don't know how those little figures up there are going to turn out, but it's just absolutely amazing. And right there, there's a guy and I think a horse right there in the corner. And you can see that the scaffolding's inside. They're doing quite a bit of restoration in there, and then a lot more of the debris and everything out over here. One last look at the view here. You can see the Mediterranean over there. And that would be a nice place to see the Acropolis over there, like at the sunrise, I think. I have some little data plates over here talking about the many restorations that have happened up here on the Acropolis Mount to the Parthenon and that Erechtheion temple, all the other ones. This is just fantastic. You can see a lot more of the ruins and everything that are down here along the base of the hill. Yeah, we'll take one last look here at this. It's beautiful. You see some more of the figures that are surviving up there. There is so much restoration going on here. They're restoring the old walls, restoring the old temples. So it's probably one of those that will never stop. Once they start restoring it, they have to just keep going. And here you can see some of the really old Greek writing, some of the pieces from the temple, and the old stairs. Lots and lots of scaffolding. Just really amazing. And you can see the figures that they're restoring up there also. And our last little thing that we're going to take a look at here is this little temple over here. Now we can't get up close to it. This is about as good a view as we can have. This is the temple of Nike Athena, and it dates back, I believe, to the 13th century. Yeah, so it dates back to the Ionic order, and it was tore down during the Ottoman occupation here, and then it was reconstructed, and you can see it. It's right over by one of the gates and by when you first come in. And at one time, right over here, there was a humongous statue of Athena, the Athena Propylaea, and it dominated this area here. You can see how cool that is, though. They got the 6 little lady figures here, and the Parthenon, and there would have been more little buildings and stuff all up here, and you can't even see the little Nike temple on the other side of this building. We'll take a look at these old buildings here on our way down. You can see where the new pieces have been put on, and they've incorporated in with all the old ones. And this is just absolutely fantastic. Now the only drawback is there's so many people, and it's hard to stop and take everything in and just enjoy the view, just enjoy the day. And then this temple of Nike Athena right there. That's actually a fantastic view of it. You can see the walls on the Acropolis here. Just absolutely beautiful. And right over there is the hill where Apostle Paul did his preaching when I first started the video. And you can see all the ruins out that way. Just a real dream come true to come over here to see this today. So down here off the monument is a statue of Agrippa, which he was tied in with Augustus, who's the son-in-law and a really famous general for Augustus Caesar. So you can see some of the writing right here, and that's as you first go up the hill into the Parthenon. You can see the gate over here. It has still a couple other little animal figures. The temple of Nike Athena. And all those columns. Yeah, you can see the crowds of people from down below when you first come up. All right, everybody, that's going to finish up our video over here at the Acropolis. We got to see some really, really amazing stuff. This is just an amazing experience for me. I've been looking forward to coming over here for so many years, and I tried to get over here. We had our tickets booked to come here to Athens in 2020 before the whole world closed down, and we finally got to get over here today, and it's worth it. It was 30 euros to get in here. I would have paid 300 euros. This is well worth it. It's a busy place. It's the #1 thing to see here in Athens for a reason. So anyway, if you ever get a chance, definitely come over here and do it before you run out of time, because there's a lot of like oldsters over here and they're having a real tough time getting up these stairs. So, you know, if you wait too long to get over here to see it, time passes you by. You know, Father Time is undefeated. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, stick around, and you get to see some more stuff like this. This is quite a bit different than my normal videos because everything I do mostly is in Thai. But we're over here in Greece today. So if you like this, definitely smash like, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. And until next time, from over here in Athens, remember, life is a journey. So until next time, enjoy.